Well, hello, KK. How are you? Let me know how the microphone sounds, please. Um, I've been having some sound issues lately. But let me know if you can hear me okay. All right. Well, what's up, Enlightened Jess? How are you? Should I turn this light on? Let me know that. Does that help at all? Sounds good. That's good. I know, right? Crazy for you, Jess. I hope you're feeling better. I totally hope you are. I'm just putting on some music. We'll see if anybody comes into the chat. So, how about the light? Should I turn the light off? Is that better? Because it seems like a really, really, really bright light. So, okay. Or I can kind of maybe that's a little softer, and it's better. It's soft and it's better. Y'all would be proud of me. I'm on day. Monday will be 2 weeks without cigarettes. So there's that. D says no light. All right. I can dig it. Can you dig it? A little more light in the room. The blue Kachina is above my shoulder. Warning. Warning. John X Army. Warning. Everybody. Warning. It's the blue Kachina. Oops. Well, thank you, D. Yeah. I can't tell you how weird it feels not to. That's true. So, yeah. What's going on with you guys? How's your quarantine? How's your quarantine? I want to know. Are you having fun with it? Are you just chilling? Imagine if you trust the plan, you're probably just kicking it and relaxing and like, okay, let's go. When's this happening? And I think that's natural. I think that's normal. Yes, get it. I must say, I do like this vaping thing though. It's kind of fun. I don't think I want to do it on a live stream, so I'm gonna just do one more, and then I'm not gonna do any more of those live streams. So D's been busy, KK's been busy. Unemployment is a doozy. It's a doozy. It's probably the greatest unemployment numbers we've ever seen in our life. That being said, I think we're going to come back very, very quickly, very fast, very nice, very quickly. We like to come back quickly. That's how we do it here. That's how we do it in the United States of America. All right, go ahead, Jim. Jim Acosta. Go ahead with your fake news. Go ahead with your question with your fake news. Go ahead, Jim. Go. Jim, too much. We've heard enough out of you today. Let's move on. No, Jim. That's enough. I said that's enough. Yeah, don't mess with Donald Trump. I think he actually really loves going in there and just beating the crap out of these journalists at this point. He is so in control of the plan that he's just taking these opportunities, I think, to really show how ridiculous the mainstream television has become. I mean, aside from CNN and MSNBC not even broadcasting, they're citing that we're not broadcasting because the information is not true. So fake news is saying that the information is fake. It's they're exposing themselves, and that is yet again part of the plan, guys. It's part of the plan. Wow, this is loud. Definitely part of the plan is destroying and exposing the deep state media that is well entrenched. It's through the operation of 6 corporations that own 95% of the media outlets. That's why it's so awesome that because where our voices are heard, you know, I don't know. Where our voices are heard, that's the unquiet majority. There's a lot of us that are wide awake. A lot of us that are wide awake. So I put out, it wasn't cryptic, but I gave you guys a little tweet earlier. And I don't say this from having any kind of special inside connections. I simply watch the cornucopia of channels that I've vetted that over the just the distance of time that have proven themselves to be very accurate. And it comes from multiple different sources. It comes from multiple different media platforms. This information is what I collectively try to put into my wheelhouse to help me process this. And yeah, I do listen also to the enemy. The enemy media. I listen to what they have to say. Before I used to say that, I can't watch it. I can't stand it here. Like put my nose pinchers on while I listen to CNN, MSNBC, all of the usual suspects. But it's really important to kind of pay attention to them because not necessarily, you just don't want them to be able to pull a fast one on you. You don't want to have them pull a fast one on you, see? Don't want to pull a fast one on you. Put him up. I'll fight you with one paw behind my back. I'll fight you jumping on one leg. Trying to pull a fast one, eh? Trying to sneak up behind me with an axe, eh? No sneaking, and most importantly, no deals. That door closed and has been closed. No deals. What does all this point us to? Well, before we go into that, let's just go into a little bit more about the happenings. Let's look at this virus. Let's look at the information that has been surfacing everywhere, showing the hospitals and the lack of COVID patients. Okay, it's everywhere. And people are starting to question it. And I think that it's very important that we all understand that this was part of the plan. The Patriots knew that the deep state was going to launch this virus. It was only a matter of when. President Trump's hands are clean in this whole thing. If there's going to be any fault that gets laid on anybody, it's going to be on the experts. Dr. Fauci, Dr. Briggs. Is that her name? Brix, Briggs, Dr. Briggs. And that's just one thing, that's just like one little fail safe. Okay, they're not going to be able to take it past this point. I mean, you had Dr. Fauci as late as January 26 telling everybody that, don't worry, this is not a communicable disease through aerosol and all of that. It can't be passed that way. It has to be ingested. 5 days later, President Trump closed the border down to any incoming flights out of China. So, snuffs that out. That candle's been snuffed out. They're not going to be able to take that far. Nancy Pelosi has allowed Adam Schiff to launch his 9/11 type investigation into how President Trump handled the coronavirus. I wouldn't put any weight into what that is because people are too awake. I mean, I mean, their motives are very much exposed. If they weren't before, they're extremely exposed. And people understand this. These people are stupid. Are they dumb? No, but they're stupid. And they expose themselves and they show themselves. So, the purpose of my stream tonight, you might ask, Bill, what's the purpose of your stream? To which I will reply in unrehearsed fashion and say, all right, so all of the chatter, all of the stations, all of the videos, everything that I've been watching and listening to is all really pointing to like things going down in the next like day or two, like legit. Because like I said in the prior stream, I mean, when else are they going to be able to ever close this country down? When are they going to be able to quiet everybody's minds to wrap their head around it? Now, the reason for me putting out, keep an eye on your surroundings is because I don't think that the deep state is completely finished. And there's a lot of YouTubers out there that don't think so either. So these are not completely organic thoughts on my path. I just happen to agree with a lot of them that see it from the standpoint that the deep state's not completely out of bullets. They're not completely out of ammunition. And what does that mean? I'm not good at like being able to load things on here and show you articles and stuff. All I can do is give you my point of view of what I listened to and what I witnessed, and the things that have led me to what I believe are credibility. We know the reason that the Comfort and Mercy are in the ports, right? I mean, it's to take on board the children that are being released from the tunnels. And when I say released, you don't open a gate and they come running out. I mean, this is about, and always has been about, the children and what's been going on in the world with the children. The only reason all of us grown old people even get to participate in this is because they're trying to save the children. Now, I don't know if it comes from God. It sure feels like it. I mean, even if it's not from God, it's righteous in its endeavors, right? 100%. And backed by the full faith in a belief in God. If it doesn't come from him, the belief is there, the backbone, the foundation to the entire movement. Heavily weighs on God. And that's been proven by President Trump's presidency and the things that he says, right? His actions, things that he will say openly. So prior Q drops, and a lot of people like to call these deltas, like deltas that line up with timing that lead to proofs that have happened and potentially will happen, have been popping up all over the course of late March and very now early April. And there's lots of things that are pointing to something date-wise that's going to happen, that is going to be quite large in its nature. Now, the reason I tell you to watch out is because, like I said, the deep state's not completely out of ammo, or at least they couldn't be. I mean, they might have stuff yet, I mean, maybe everything hasn't, how are you going to explain the 1% or 5% or 10% chance that they have, some person holed up with some weird suitcase that once they activate, walks in the middle of Central Park and just annihilates himself, in about 6 blocks. I don't know. I'm not here to fearmonger. I think President and his team have got all their bases covered. I see a lot of disinformation out of channels. I've told you that I respect it, and it bothers me. But it only tells me how entrenched the enemy truly is and woven into our lives. And they are woven into our lives through the ability to process you into a direction to think differently, to do things differently. You're shopping. It's all woven. I always talk about people being programmed and television programmed. The reality is, you guys, we are all programmed. And when this is all done, we're all going to have to go through a deprogramming. I mean, we're awake. We're truthers. We want the truth and we want what's right and what's good. The reality is that our entire lifetimes have been molded by a Fabian socialist agenda that has rotted us from the inside over the course of time through everything. So it's part of you. You happen to come out and have a good heart and be a good person. Congratulations. But their plan wasn't for snaring someone like you. It was for snaring whoever it could snare so that they could be manipulated and they could be, given multiple different kinds of psychiatric type drugs and everything. So, I mean, the reality is that people better wake up and realize that this has really happened. And the people right now that won't listen to what's going on and what's about to drop, man, they just really are detached from anything that they're actually quite selfish. That's what they are. They're very fucking selfish. Selfish with their feelings and their emotions, and very hard-headed are these people, and that's okay. We need people like that in the world too. We absolutely need people like that in the world. It's just that it's a damn shame that we're at this point. I mean, the plan has been laid out in front of us. The information, the proof has been laid out in front of us. The only thing that we are missing right now are arrests, if you think about it. How much more do you know this week than you knew 2 weeks ago? These things that we are about to witness, that Trump has warned us about, that the next 2 weeks, and that's 2 days ago, the next 2 weeks will be some of the hardest on us as Americans. It's going to be the hardest. Why would it be the hardest? Is it because of this coronavirus, which is taken actually it's too many, but it's not a lot compared to like all the numbers that you get in the global epidemics and pandemics and things like smoking and car crashes and suicide, sadly. That number is respectfully way low, and it's way low under what their projection and their models were showing. So people are going to wake up. People are going to look at this and go, my hospitals aren't full. What's going on? The world's quiet right now. Things are very quiet and very chill. If you're like me, you've got a flag sticking out the front of your house right now. This is a time for America to unite. Lay down your party lines. And as a result of this, the children are going to be saved, which is going to happen regardless. But it's really, really time for you Democrats out there to wake up, because you're going to eat these spoonfuls of medicine over the course of the next days, weeks, and probably months. And if you don't allow us to put some sugar in it, it will go down in the most delightful way. It's going to be a red jagged pill. I mean, we've been trying to warn you. And I feel comfortable. I feel very comfortable speaking with a certain level of knowing when I say this, because we all haven't been brought on this journey to just be thrown into a pile of people that are confused. No. Whether you want to believe it or not as a Democrat or a Trump hater, is that there is legitimately, and I know you are people of statistics and like statistics, but there is legitimately proven numerous times that the existence of Q, being what Q claims Q is infallible. It's non-negotiable. It's affectionately called "It is what it is." And the truth is what it is. So get used to it. Because it's coming, whether or not you want to get on board or not. Everything that people have been trying to put in your ear and tell you about, and the horrors that we are about to learn about those that are going to come out of the human trafficking and get boarded onto the Comfort and Mercy hospital ships is, Q once said, 99% of the population would be in the hospital if they knew the truth. 99% of us would be in the hospital if we knew the truth of the horrors that they've done and they've continued to do over the years. This is not hyperbole, you guys, at all. This is stuff that's real and was happening and has happened for many, many, many hundreds of years. I mean, I guess we'll find out when it's all done, right? How long it's been going on, but long ass time been going on. I'll say it again, as I've said it before, it's an amazing time to be awake at this time in the history of mankind. It's absolutely the most beautiful thing to be awake and watch this happening. The fact that you did not allow yourself to be brainwashed to the extent where you could look the other way on this whole movement is a feather in your cap. And there's lots of us out there that are awake. And I think that's what I like most about this plan is it's only awoken and brought people together. That's all it's done. You got this Yahoo on the train that they're inevitably going to try to pin it on the Q movement and stuff. But what we are globally is so much better and bigger and transparent than anything they could ever try to put in front of us. They could never paint a scenario in front of us that anybody would buy. Nobody's buying. Deep state selling, nobody buying. I'm not. How about you? Spoonfuls for you? Let's read the chat. How are you guys on your beautiful Friday evening, by the way? Yes, Enlightened Justice, pray. Yes, for sure. It's a part of my life. I try to pray often, and I try to keep it nice and quick and sweet and to the point. You know, I don't want to be a Catholic and pray on my knees and talk about stuff forever. Holy, 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 holy. I'm going to sing these cool rap songs to you, my Father. No, I'm like, God, all right, listen, I know this shit's going down. This stuff's happening. I need you to just protect everybody that's making it go down. This is the plan. If I understand it, this is the plan. And you are watching that it's going to be cool. Okay, we good? In Jesus' name, amen. Amen. What say ye? Grumpy troll. I see you. I see you, grumpy one. And I see the Joe Mammiest of the Joe Mamas. And the D. And the K. And the N-O-Z-A. Mr. Wally Yuppers Wallace. Yipper dipper. I always wanted to say that. I don't think I did until just now. Yipper dipper. I heard a comedian once talk. Never mind. All right. All right. So you guys on board with what I was talking about though? I mean, you guys got any questions? Or are you guys just like, yeah, totally. That's like exactly what's going on. That's what it is. I mean, that's what it feels like it is, right? All right. So I put the tweet out or the tweet. I don't know why I called it. I put it out in a text and said to watch out tomorrow. Well, it just goes into talking about if the deep state does have a play, they're going to play it really, really soon. They're going to play it really soon, you guys. They have to. This has all been going really, really quiet and nice. And yeah, they've been barking at President Trump, been barking at him hard over this corona thing. But while this is happening, there's certain things that are also happening in the background. Like things are moving forward to the Durham report. Sorry, I had the hiccups. Things are going forward to the Durham report. And, you know, President Trump the other day brought up everybody in his military heads and the DOJ brought them up on stage with the coronavirus to say, we're going to war with the narcotics. And General Milley got up there and just was like, and he took a Bic lighter and went, he just blew fire all over the media. They were just like, General Milley. I mean, it's horrible because they are really releasing and helping so many kids that are damaged, and they're damaged hard. That's what hurts me the most about this. If you guys want to know the truth, all the stuff with families being broken up by family members in the deep state and all that are going to be ripped apart because they didn't know their loved one was compromised within the DOJ. If they're releasing and finding this many kids, and maybe even teens now, you know, that were born into the slavery, and they go in there, and I mean, there's DNA. There's DNA to match these kids back up in a lot of ways, probably with their families, and that is going to be very painful. It's going to be a very, very painful 2 weeks coming ahead, but President Trump thinks there'll be light at the end of the tunnel. And it ain't a freight train. It's freedom. It is freedom. And it's right in front of us. You guys, you're awake for a reason, because you need to be a mouthpiece for how everything was taken down in the United States when this is over. And you need to help somebody that just leaves you no choice but to just give them the truth. You don't even have to like go find them. They're just going to say something. You're going to just be like, blah. And they're going to be like, truth all over me. All over me. Truth. Oh my God, that was so good. Truth was great. Like, yeah, it was great. Wait till I tell you who Q is. Oh, it's coming. It is a coming. Oh no, it's just so sweet. Jazz handshake to all of you. I truly have enjoyed you all. Here, here. The enlightened one. What are they going to be like? Well, bastard. I thought it was weird after I did it, to be honest. And the crane picks up on it. Yeah, Jess, for sure I am. My heart's in the right place. I can tell you that. I'm as common as a common person comes. You got no special superpowers. I can assure you of that. And if you don't believe me, ask my wife. She'll be like, well, I'll tell you what, swinging a hammer, that ain't his thing. No, actually, they're pretty good with a hammer. I just don't have a lot of ambition to like do shit. I don't get it. But when something has to be done, I go do it. I'm just kind of over the whole hi, this is life and this is how we act and this is what's expected of you. And I'm like, no, because no. Because while you try to live that life and be that type of person, which I'm not saying there's flaws in that. I'm just saying that, I was feeling pretty bad about the state of our union, a number of years ago. And Trump came and relit a passion in me. And not only lit a passion in me, but packed me full of TNT and said, nope, you're not ready to give up. We're going. Let's go. And so it really, really began. When I say things like 9/11 were kind of the primer, and I noticed a lot but went back to sleep, but he really primed it. And I think he did that for a lot of people, to be honest with you. It was very easy to go kind of quiet through the Obama years. It really was. A great statesman, phenomenal speaker. I mean, as good a speaker as you'll ever hear in your life, that one. But he lulled everybody to sleep. And some of y'all didn't buy it. I know Mel Monty hated him from the day he was elected. I know she did. Staunch Republican. And I admire that about her, to be honest with you. And some of you who are that way, I admire that about you. But I can disagree with you at the time and say that the message that party was also sending didn't feel like it was addressing the things that Obama alleged he was going to address. Because what we liked hearing was, this is what's bad and this is what we're going to do. And everybody went, yeah, let's do that. Let's fix everything. And then he became the first black president that did less for black people than any white president ever in the history of being president. He was a puppet. He was a Manchurian candidate puppet. Part of the 16-year plan to destroy America completely. Don't forget about, what was it called? Fast and Furious, Operation Fast and Furious. That's when we sold, under the Obama administration, under Attorney General Eric Holder, when we actually sold our weapons to Mexico to go into the Mexican mafia. And what did the mainstream media do? Just covered it up like they do everything. Why? They're run by Satanists. They're run by people that worship Satan. They're run by people that sacrifice children. They are run by the most goddamnedest people on this planet. And their evil is being exposed, and they are going to be eradicated. It's going to send a strong message to anybody that thinks they're going to try to do this again. It's up to you as a patriot to stay on board with this. And listen, these children that they're going to be bringing out of these underground tunnel systems, some of these that have been born into that life. I heard it put by a YouTuber earlier today, and I thought it was so perfect that I wanted to remember to say it. That YouTuber said, these kids that are born into this won't ever feel what it's like to be held like by somebody that completely loves you. Some of these kids. And they won't ever get to see that look in your eyes, and they won't be able to feel compassion because they've been raised and bred and born as livestock to the most horrible, horrendous type of business you could ever believe. And even that wasn't enough for them because they needed the likes of a Planned Parenthood. Almost 15 million abortions year to date. By far the largest number of any of those I was talking about earlier, between smoking, heart attacks, and accidents, and suicide. Abortions off the charts. Why are the Democrats fighting so hard to keep Planned Parenthood open and abortions? Well, I will point you to the direction of a channel called Project Veritas, who went undercover and had a deep conversation with somebody that actually spoke about how they part the baby out, similar to how you would part a car that doesn't work anymore, how you would part it out to people that have working cars. Oh yeah, this is that much. This is that much. Oh, you want this? Oh, and the adrenochrome and all this. I mean, it is. There's a reason. There is a reason. What is it? What's the reason? Come on, this is a fun game. It's easy. It's easy. You know the answer. What's the reason? Why are they doing it? Why? And begin. Bleak. What's the reason? Nope. Wrong. What's the reason? Good try. Nope. What's the reason? Crane. What's the reason? Tony. What's the reason? Mel. D. KK. Redneck Prapple. What's the reason? Why are they doing this? Why are they keeping Planned Parenthood open? Anybody? It's the giant elephant in the room. What is it? All right. I need a beer. So I'm not ready to end the live stream. If you guys are okay with that, I'd like to hang out for a little bit and we can talk about a few more things. But I need another beer. And I think, okay, let's do this. All right. Sounds good. Let's do this. And if you have any questions, that's interesting, Crane. Actually, it's an interesting point of view. I'll marinate on that for a minute while I get a beer. I'm just not going to put anything on. You guys chat. You guys are good. You're awesome. Check out the decorations. This is Spring Break, 1988, and the Blue Kachina. I'll be back. All right. Let's see. What you all saying? Iron Crane says, I don't think that it's a desire to kill babies or anything like that. It's that to restrict abortion would be to take away women's rights. I think we just have to be able to find a proper timeline where this goes from being a gelatinous cell to a full-grown baby that we yank out of the womb and carve up. I mean, that can't be the answer. It can't be one or the other. It can't be. It's inhumane. There's a point where it's absolutely the most inhumane thing you could do. And if you can figure out whether or not you're pregnant, like within a month, there's so many things that can help you avoid being pregnant. Why are they having so many of these abortions? Could it be because they want them? That's more to my point, Iron Crane. That's more to my point. Are they happening because they want them? Well, as this all shakes out into the mainstream, as more and more truths are being delivered to us, as we're allowed to uncover, the sad answer is yes. There seems to be a very specific reason for wanting this to thrive, continue, and be defended. My question is why? There is a happy medium, even less than medium. Mel says, but it's all just a distraction, Iron Crane. Crane says, elaborate, which I'm sure Mel's getting ready to do. I'll check how it goes in the chat. Grumpy Troll's drinking Apocalypse beer as well. No wonder you're grumpy. Turned your shits into liquid. I don't honestly know if that's true. Sound funny? All right, I don't think that matters to them. Any form of restricting a woman in what she wants to do must be snuffed out in a, I don't know, what's this word? Hang on, my notification's going. Let me clear that so I can see the word. Was that gynocentric? Gynocentric society? Look at you. You are the teacher for the moment, Crane. Tell me what that means. Gynocentric. Kind of like that. D, what do you mean? Those are facts. Adrenochrome and tax dollars. Good point, Mr. Rockowalks. Both are important to the deep state for sure. The left and right, Mel Monty says, the left and right have been distracted and divided with these things that the deep state / cabal have used against us. Again, true. I think there's really no black and white when it comes to like showing what the deep state is. When you sit and you look at what the deep state really is, I think there are shades of gray throughout this entire thing that's woven throughout the world. There's good and bad, and there's this and that, and that's why you have people that suicide themselves. 3 shots to the back of the head, suicided. Oh, they were ready to talk about the Clintons next week. Oh, nothing to see here. Oh, what is it, Scott? Nothing to see here. Nothing evil. Nothing evil. It's all evil. Shh, I got some shh, and knock, knock, who's there? Shh. Everybody gets shh. All right, so it's not black and white, you know? It's hard to argue with people. It's hard to tell them this. It's all woven. It's like a solution-dyed acrylic. It's not a print onto a fabric. It is a solution-dyed acrylic. It is wove through. It is 100% woven through the fabric. And that is what's woven through the fabric of society. And you got all of them on this side that follow it and all of them on this side that don't. But in here, we got the people that can be manipulated as life goes on, as they recruit, as they pluck them out of where they need to, as they breed them here and pluck out the best and finest. Hollywood is messed up big time. You know it. They know it. And certain celebrities that could not be bought, could not force themselves, who maybe allowed themselves to have a slightly less than awesome life that maybe they could have had they drank the blood, had they done the sacrifice, had they committed themselves. Well, there's enough of them too. And they're the ones that are starting to come out and speak out. I think it's an incredible time for us to be alive, you guys. I think it's the best time to be alive. And I'm even counting World War II with the ticker tape parade. I said ticker tape. Ticker tape. Ticker tape. Do you know why they call it a ticker tape parade? Do you? I didn't know until I saw it on like the History Channel, maybe like a dozen years ago or something. But when they used to send messages to each other, it come off, and like all this stuff from the stock market, it all come off on these ticker tapes, because they didn't have computers, you know, like we do. And so they'd end up with just shit piles of all this ticker, like ticker tape parade. Yay. You know, little history for you. Little history for you. What are we talking about? What are you guys talking about? What's up, Headless Horseman? The Headless One. How are you, buddy? Yeah. Grumpy Troll, what are you talking about? Oh, Grumpy Troll's trying to have a conversation with D. What's going on? Oh, man. When there's Grumpy, what do you mean those are the facts? Oh, no. Whatever. I'm not going to. Thanks, Crane. Fortunately, that's how you get me every single time. Buddha. Which I think says more about me than it does about your comments. But, you know, that's just sometimes how it go. There you go. That's how that goes. So something could be up tomorrow. Something could, you know what? That sounds really bad to say it that way. Something could be up any day. There's lots of chatter. There's lots. I mean, temper your expectations. I certainly will. But given the current state of the United States and the globe and everything being shut down, a lot of big things are pointing to tomorrow, or basically just say the weekend, tomorrow and the next day. I mean, these are things I think there's no stopping in any way, shape, or form where this goes on the next level. I mean, the next thing to happen to me sounds like it's going to be like really eye-opening. Like enough of these daily briefings with the president, enough of this. I think the news cycle is going to be dramatically changed. That's how I feel this is going to go. I think patriots are ready for it. I think the deep state and all their minions and all of their celebrities are doing weird, crazy shit because they don't know what else to do. They've been beaten. They just haven't told the rest of the world they've been beaten yet. And they keep banging that drum that they got something on the president. It's over. It's over. But there are things that can happen that you need to make sure that you still keep your wits about you, and do that all the time, of course. But we're really at the end. And I will eat a sack of crow if we get through the next 2 weeks and something significant hasn't gone down. I'm telling you right now, I'm still not deserting the plan. I've never had a reason to desert the plan. All I'm doing is saying that there are a lot of very, very big signals that point to something major happening here very soon. And it comes from the dialect of the president in his daily presidential briefings on the coronavirus. There's so many things that he alludes to without just simply saying the coronavirus. He refers to it over and over. An invisible enemy. And I think that we're going to get through this. And once we take care of this invisible enemy, there's going to be a lot of light at the end of the tunnel, but not before we have 2 weeks of very, very hard times. Very hard times, you guys. Some of the likes we've never seen before. Very, very hard times. Guys, we're about to see everything that we've been fighting for come to light, like very soon. Not trying to scare anybody. I don't think it's about that. But I think we need to be prepared for what we are going to witness eventually, and it's going to be freeing of all these children who have had some of the worst things that you could ever imagine. Think about the worst thing that ever happened to you in your life, and it could be bad, and I'm not minimizing it. These kids have had that plus, right? There's a lot. There's a lot to unpack here for everybody in the world. You're seeing the revolt also, by the way, in Italy. They are taking the flag down of the European Union and re-putting up their own flag. Now, they haven't done this as a country yet, but you're seeing statesmen, mayors, statesmen within the country that are starting to do this. Burning the European Union flag has become a thing. It's become a thing. It's like the thing to do. I mean, I would make an exception and burn a European Union flag because it represents slavery. You might say, Bill, what do you mean by that? And I'm glad that you asked me. What I mean by that is that it was designed to put people into enslavement. Maybe not with chains, maybe not behind bars, but you aren't going to see the majority of the money you worked for your entire life contributing to a socialist society that would have just taxed the shit out of you. By the way, we are, when we go back to work, you know, as a country, when we go back to work, you're not going to have any more payroll taxes, probably through the end of the year. And guess what? It's going to be gone. You're not going to get taxed anymore. I'm not saying there won't be some, that's probably wrong. I said it the other night. You probably have maybe some kind of small tax in your neighborhood. Federal tax is gone. That shit's gone. That ain't coming back. And paying income tax is gone. If you guys don't realize that right now, realize it. The IRS, your problems with the IRS are done if you ever had them. And paying income tax is a thing of the past. We are being freed right now, and most of us don't even realize it. The central bank has effectively been taken over by the United States Treasury. Why? Because the level of debt that we owe allows us to control the direction that they go. We call the shots. We call the shots, or you go bankrupt. How's that sound? And while we're at it, Trump says, let's rebuild the entire infrastructure of the United States on deep state money, because it's all borrowed money. They are holding the bag of shit of debt. The Federal Reserve is holding the giant bag of debt that we are ringing up. And Trump knows one thing about bankruptcy is before you file bankruptcy, you ring up all of your cards and all of your credit to the maximum you can, and you take everything. Because in a bankruptcy, you keep what you purchased, regardless of whether you service the note. And he knows this. And he's running the charge card of America right now. And we're talking new bridges, new roads on an epic level like you're not going to believe. America is going to be such a phenomenal place. By the time he leaves office in 2024, you're not even going to recognize the place. You'll be like, America got trumped, aka pimped, in the classiest way. I mean, it's not going to be crazy. It's going to be something that you're proud of again. I mean, I don't know about you guys. I wasn't very proud of America. I was proud of its values, its history, what's been allowed to live in the history books. I've been proud of that. And that's what I love about America. It's honestly why I speak the way I do about America when I talk about it, because I just think there's nothing better than that. We are the last free nation on this entire planet that we're aware of, but we are the last free one. And what we represent means everything. Us not failing right now means everything to the world. Everything. If this mission fails, if we fail, if something happens, we've been exposed, we've seen the deep state. If something happens, listen, I just say it. We just can't let that happen. Whatever it takes. And the part of me that's a U.S. Marine says, you know what? If I have to, I'll lay my life down for this president. I would. I'm not looking to do any crazy shit, but I mean, I've never honestly felt that way about somebody that wasn't my wife or my kids. That if it called on me that I had to lose my life for the dude, I would, and I would. That might not be a big deal to you guys. You guys might just go, yeah, so would I. I mean, it's the health of the country. Of course I would. To save the president, of course. But that's a big deal because that means that you give everything up that you have. And that means I give up the wife. It means I give up Shawnee. I give up Brooks here in Sydney, and the family, and the life, and the future grandkids. I honestly, for him, I would. And maybe that's lame. I don't think it is. I think what we're witnessing and what he's doing is that important. And that it's real. There's no way this isn't real. You dig? Semper Fi, redneck. For sure. Right now, I love all branches of the military. Love them. They're great. They are all working with a purpose. We've got the National Guard that's got America on lockdown. I mean, from what they need to be doing, they're doing it right on. Army, Navy, Air Force, Marine. Our Navy is out there and they're patrolling for drugs coming in. Remember, we declared war. Declared it. We're going to take it out. We're going to take it out. And General Milley ain't screwing around. I can tell you that. The man is no nonsense. And I think that's what we all need right now. I think that's why Trump is out there trying to be very calm. If you watched him today in his presidential briefing on the coronavirus, these reporters, I would love to beat the fuck out of, if I'm just being honest. And wouldn't even think twice about it when I was done. I'd go get a steak and have a beer when I was done. Some of these reporters just need to go. They can't be there anymore. It's not good for my blood pressure. None of this shit's good for my blood pressure. But these reporters have to go. And he called them out today hard. President Trump called them out hard today. It was beautiful. It's cringy as fuck to listen to. It's super cringy to listen to it go down. But what he's doing is He's just calling them out. And I think that that's great. I do, but it's super difficult to kind of listen to be honest. I don't like it. The only thing I can think is that he's doing it to expose them to everybody. Those that are just waking up. They look at this and go, Jesus, he seems to be handling this pretty well. What's up with the questions? I mean, why are they always trying to get them with a gotcha question? I hope that's what he's doing right now. It won't surprise me to find out that they were. Like they gave him a little prep talk. They like put their hands on the shoulder. All right, Don. All right, you got to go out there today. You got to go out there, okay? Now they're gonna come at you the way they always come at you, but you can't react. You have to stay calm. You can't react because this part of the plan requires that you are nice and don't react. Yeah, I can do that. Of course, I can do that. He comes out, doesn't do that. Fuck you. Fuck you. I'm the president. He didn't quite do it like that, but I think it's part of the plan. Like him just to, like I said, the bull in the china shop. Like, you're hired, President Trump, go be the bull in the china shop. I can do that. I can be the bull in the china shop. And then he goes. And he does everything that they want him to do, playing a major part in this plan. That could be misinterpreted that I'm calling him a puppet. Not a puppet. Not anything close to even being a pimple on a puppet's ass. Not a puppet. Independent, free thinker who was just waiting to answer the call for liberty. Really answering the call. I remember in his speech early on before he was elected, he said, I always knew this day would come, folks. Believe me, I always knew. Why did President Trump say, I always knew this day would come? I always knew. Why did that happen? Why did President Trump say that? I mean, there's a lot to unpack when this is all said and done to show how truly ignorant not only the American people, but the people of the world were while this happened right in front of our eyeballs. It got so bad they had to slow everybody down to force them to look. Your internet's working fine everywhere. Everybody's internet's fine. People are being with their families. People are seeing President Trump put on a masterful show. Masterful. I got a lot of bro love for Donald Trump, which I never experienced before he became president or the candidate. I mean, I kind of started liking him with his message when he decided to run. I was like, yeah, that dude's speaking truth. He was speaking the. Did you guys see like Alex Jones came out and said, I know Q. I know Q. And it's a right wing conspiracy theory. And the guy ran a train, and it's a Q. Well, I remember early on when Trump had first announced that he was going to run for president. And Alex Jones was like, Mr. President, or candidate Trump, I'm so glad. I can't believe that you're coming on there. And anything that we can do, sir. Well, I'll tell you what, Alex, I'll just let you know one thing. Your people are going to be very happy with me. Your people, I think, are going to be very happy with me. And I remember that interview like yesterday because I heard it like 1,000 times. That signal. And it's true. A lot of people in the truth movement, I wasn't one of them, but a lot of people in the truth movement flocked and were first awakened to a lot of things by Alex Jones. And now people say, you don't know Alex Jones, he this, he that. Listen to me. Listen to me very closely, you guys. Listen to me very, very closely on Alex Jones. He is 100% controlled opposition, compromised, and run by the Mossad. You know what the Mossad is? It's Israeli deep state. It's called the Mossad. I won't say much more beyond that. Start researching it. That's what he's controlled by. Q always said, saving Israel for last. It's coming, my friends. It's coming. I look forward to the day that I see you all and meet you all one day. I know that I will. I just don't know when. But our world is about to take a very, very drastic change, I think, for the better. Now, heed President Trump's warning that the next 2 weeks are going to be some of the most painful. Pray on that, please. Because I think when he says it's going to be some of the most painful, you're going to start seeing and hearing about the things and the children that are coming out from under these caves. And there's a lot. Armor of God. Put on your armor right now. Put it on. All right, you guys. I love you. Thanks for coming to my live stream tonight. I really appreciated seeing you all. And it was a lot of fun interacting with you because y'all are some crazy, awesome people. And I do mean that very much so. So you guys be cool. Let's see what tomorrow brings. Be aware of your surroundings. I say that like a father. Just like I tell my kids every time I leave, be careful, drive safe, be careful. Not for them to drive safe because there's assholes that don't drive safe. And those are the ones you have to watch, right? They're the ones that are blowing a light. They're the ones, those are the assholes you got to watch when you drive safe. So I extend that to all you. I love you all and drive safe. I'll see you on the back side of this. I don't know if anything happens tomorrow. Maybe I'll go tomorrow night, but you'll know that in advance. So let's just see how things go. Be awesome. All right. You guys are just, I love hanging. Have a good night. Bye.